Hello again. Today we're solving equations with imaginary numbers. So here I have x minus 5 squared is equal to negative 16. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that you're supposed to take the square root of both sides of this equation. Well, what that does is the square root cancels out the square. So I'm left with x minus 5 is equal to the square root of negative 16. But remember, this is going to be plus or minus the square root of negative 16. All right, so now I have x minus 5 equals, remember that if you have a negative inside of a radical, you need to factor out a negative 1 in the radical. So I'll have a plus or minus the square root of a negative 1. All right, times the square root of 16. And you'll remember, hopefully, that the square root of negative 1 we will rewrite as I. So I have x minus 5 equals plus or minus I times the square root of 16, which is 4. So x minus 5 equals plus or minus 4i. And now, down here I have a plus 5, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides of my equation. And these 5s actually cancel, so that x is equal to plus or minus 4i plus 5. But when we write these out, this is what's called a complex number, because there's an imaginary part and there's a real part. All right, and we always put the real part first. So I'm going to rewrite this as x equals 5 plus or minus 4i. And that's how you solve these equations with imaginary numbers. Hope that helps.